Hello, this is Monice with DealerSpike, your website company, and the point of this training video today will be to tackle the tools underneath the content section on your left-hand navigation menu within your editor. Now, because there are so many tools underneath the content section, there will be a separate video for each of them. Otherwise, this video would run over an hour long, and we don't want that. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Pages option underneath the content section. Now here we are on the page list of every single page that is currently on your site, and they're always going to be in alphabetical order according to that / that you see there. And most pages will have written paragraphs on them, but for this example, let's go ahead and take a look at the About Us page, and we're going to click on that second option. And that takes you to the page detail. Now on the page detail, the About Us section, you will want to look to the right of the primary content section to look at the primary text asset. So to the right of this About Us asset, we're going to click on the gray Edit button, which will eventually land us on our Edit Assets section. And here we are at the About Us paragraph. For site assignment, if you don't have two different sites, you can go ahead and assign it based on the site using this dropdown. You will want to leave the type as custom asset. If you are working on this particular page asset or paragraph and you don't want it to appear on the site while you're updating it, you can go ahead and temporarily deactivate it. Now, if you only want this asset or paragraph to be shown for a limited period of time between two dates, you can go ahead and edit the start and end date and ensure that the end date is the date by which you want this to automatically stop displaying on your website after 11:59 p.m. And using the toolbar that you see here at the top of this text box, you can go ahead and change the color of text. You can change the font family, the font size. You can bold, italicize, underline. If you wanted to link a URL to text, you can simply go ahead and highlight that word or phrase that you'd like to link. Click on this first icon in the second row that looks like a chain link and paste that URL in this field. After you hit insert and you save and you publish your changes at the top here, after you've done that process, on your site, when someone goes ahead and clicks on that specific word or phrase, it will take them over to the specific URL that you provided. You can also include media or files through our media/file browser, which can and will be utilized in other areas within the editor itself. If you wanted to insert a table, you could click on this fort icon in the second row and just choose the grid that you would like to go with. Tables are great for adding in information on your website. Lastly, if you would prefer to do this type of editing through HTML or CSS view, you can click on this icon that looks like a double-ended caret, and boom, there it goes, taking you into your comfort zone, editing in this fancy coding language. Now, if you are on a page and you're having trouble lining up your links and pictures, or your text and pictures, I would suggest going in and actually using the table like this. So let's say that we've got a rental site. On one side, we've got the machine. In the middle, we have the description of the machine. And over to the right, we have the price per hour. So we'll do a 3x3 grid. And here it drops it in nicely for you. So this keeps it all nicely aligned as long as your pictures are roughly the same size. As you're going down, it should be nicely aligned. So here you would put in the picture. Then here you would place in the description, and then this is where you would put the price per hour, and you would just follow down depending on the size of your table. And the reason that I tell you to use this particular graph tool instead of trying to manually align it is occasionally it may not work so well. So here's my encouraged workaround. If you're having trouble getting pictures to line up correctly or getting the text to display in the position that you want it, then I would say use the graph tool if you can. And if that graph tool still isn't working out for you, you have two options. You can get a hold of technical product support and simply ask them to do the update for you, providing the information that you want on the page and how you'd like to see it. Or the other thing that you can do is open up Microsoft Word and get the information formatted the way that you want it in there and copy and paste it over into here. And you will get a box that pops up when you try to paste that information in here, and the box will say, do you want to keep the same formatting? You're going to go ahead and hit yes, and our editor will do its very best to keep all the original alignments, sizes, and colors, and everything like that that you had in the original document. Now, when you get through with editing your information, you'll want to go ahead and hit that save button here at the top, and then go to the top here where you have your business name, click on it, and run the publish changes option so everyone can see those changes on your site. Now, I know you've grown tired of hearing me say save every moment, but it's particularly important when it comes to this section. If you find yourself editing for over an hour and you try to navigate to some other option within this editor, when you come back, all of your changes will be lost up until the last point of save. So even if you're not ready to publish your changes just as yet, save it as you go along so you save yourself a lot of headache. And now moving right into our dashboard at the top here of our left-hand navigation. And now we're going to talk about a couple help areas you can go if you run into a snag or need some assistance navigating within your editor. First off, to the top, next to your business name, you have the Help Center option. Clicking on that gives you technical support's contact card, both their phone number and email address. And by clicking on that Help Center option at the bottom of the dropdown, that will lead you over to the Help Center, which is jam-packed with articles and step-by-step instructions on how to navigate better within this editor. You'll also be able to find training videos all broken up by their specific function in there within that Help Center, which if you are a visual learner should be a huge benefit for you. And you also have the self-help question mark here in the bottom left-hand corner. Opening up the self-help question mark will just display the shortcut to our Help Center, basically allowing you to look for articles in here without having to leave the comfort of the editor. And that concludes our presentation. Until I talk to you again, thank you so much for your time.